Oh dear, oh dear. I thought I'd start by paint stripping the cases and stuff. I eventually want these to be polished up both sides. The crankcases are black, the barrels obviously silver, and I want these to be polished up. Knife remorse isn't what it used to be. It used to be really strong, but now it's terrible. I think you'd have to buy industrial stuff if you really wanted some decent stripping. Stripping the headstock as well. I'm not too sure what I want to do with this yet. I might polish it up. So the best way to grease bearings is to put some in your hand and then get the bearing and like scoop the grease into it with a bit of force. Pushes it all the way into the rollers then. Then just fit it back to the bike. Tested it's nice and smooth. So I decided to ignore my own advice because the original top yoke, as you can see here, is really flimsy and there's no top clamps. You have to have the handlebars right at the top with the forks through to grip onto the forks with the handlebars. So I decided, never used CAD before, to sort of design a bolt. And then I transferred it into another program, and apparently you can put it onto his milling machine. I'm not sure why it's showing it cone shape there. Here I am trying to strip the top yoke, but the paint stripper did nothing at all. So I'm going to have to do it all manually, I think. That's another coat, pointlessly. I thought I'd clean up the clutch case. This one's a lot easier, it's not got as much paint on. Started to clean some bolts up. It was only when I cleaned this one up did I realise that the threads were all stripped off, so that one's gone in the bin. managed to get the back shock on okay. The swinging arm and frame will need painting again eventually. Have a check on how the dishwasher's doing. Washing the paint stripper off the top yoke. And I thought at this time I'd put the 2-stroke tank in as well, because it was full of swarf and crap. And then I put the radiator in as well, because that was the same, filthy. And then for some reason it decided to overfill itself. I don't think it's too happy having bike parts in it. I'm stripping the carburettor down. This needs a good clean and a check over. Obviously these Phillips screws have been rounded off so many times, it's not even worth it, but luckily I made some cap heads to go in there, or button heads. I'm also going to replace the bowl ones as well. So that's the pilot jet, the little one. That's the main jet. Use the right sized flat blade screwdriver when you're taking jets out or putting them back in, otherwise they could burr or even snap. Someone had over tightened the pilot screw way too much. Pilot jet, sorry. This is a 7mm for the emulsion tube. This is what the throttle needle slides in, which adjusts like mid-range fueling. That's why the needle's tapered. As you can see, they are quite dirty. Taking the float out with the float pin. Just find something nice and small to go in there. It should just slide out. Some of them are press fitting from one side sort of thing, so they'll only come out one way. As you can see, it's absolutely filthy. So I give it a quick clean up. I think I may have gone a bit fast with this clip, I don't know. The carburettor bowl's quite clean, but might as well get the brown crap out. I only ever started it once after I'd rebuilt the engine. Same with the emulsion tube, filthy with a bit of corrosion on. Also, the pilot jet was quite dirty as well. These are the button heads I made. I have 2 of those, and I have 2 cap heads for the float bowl. Thought I'd give the oil pump cover a clean up. It was filthy. I don't know whether I'm going to polish this up or spray it, but it was absolutely disgusting. And that can go in the dishwasher. While I'm doing that, I can reassemble the carburetor. Starting with the float valve onto the float, and then the pin back in. Just check it's nice and free. Then the emulsion tube. Just give it a nice gentle nip up. Don't need to go mad with them, they can snap. And the pilot jet. Along with the main jet. And then the float bowl can go back on. Give these cap heads a nice little nip up. Put the slide back in, making sure to line the needle up. Put the button heads in. And check that the slide moves up and down nice and freely. Hopefully this looks a lot better. I'll have to decide what I'm doing with it at a later date. I thought I'd start just eyeing the wiring up. This is the tank. It was rubbed down and primered at one point, but it's been sat for years and years, so I'll have to do that again. I just started by laying the wiring harness out on top in the direction it needs to go, because obviously there's no battery box or any mounting points for anything now, like the regulator rectifier. Just trying to find a nice place to put the regulator rectifier, but I think I'm going to mount it to the side of the battery box, which I'll make. So I thought I'd put the intake manifold on. This is very worn. I'm going to have a look for a second-hand one of these, and maybe a proper gasket. But I'm just using some Loctite 510. It's the stuff you use for putting crankcases back together when you've rebuilt a two-stroke or any engine really. I put both the bolts in, started them finger tight, so the manifold was nice and lined up, and then just pushed it home and then tightened the bolts up. Thank you for watching another video. I hope this one's slightly better.